Danielle Brockmeyer. If you look around the room and notice the people sitting next to you, 1 out of 5 people actually suffer from a mental illness. The treatment for mental illness actually dates back to 500 BCE. At that time, mental illness was noted to be resulting from a supernatural phenomena such as demonic possession or sorcery. And they would actually drill a hole into the skull, and that was believed to release the evil spirits. Now, since then, treatment for mental illness has evolved. There has been shock therapies, asylums have been used, and of course, happy pills have been prescribed. Now, while the history of how mental illness is treated has greatly changed, the way that those who suffer from mental illness are portrayed through the media is something that is not widely discussed. First and foremost, when people think about mental illness, what they think about are labels. Now, everybody knows the different types of mental illness. There is schizophrenia, depression, anxiety. But what are the words that are used most? There's crazy, psycho, nut job is used. All of these words contribute to the stigmatization of mental illness. For example, a popular show, Orange is the New Black, one of the most popular and entertaining characters goes by the nickname of Crazy Eyes. She is actually portrayed in some very, very extreme situations, and they all are based off of her mental illness. The Huffington Post actually posted an article titled, "Why We Need to Talk About Orange is the New Black's Crazy Eyes?" And it explains that the characters on the show are actually never shown to be treated for their mental illness. They actually receive harsher punishments, and that's more for entertainment value. There are many other lovable and eccentric characters on the show, and they all do exhibit very serious symptoms of mental illness, but a lot of it is used for the purposes of comedy also. They exaggerate the symptoms and they make the characters seem dangerous or scary. Lifetime also has characters that are very exaggerated in their mental illness symptoms. They are never shown to have treatment, or they never follow up with the characters either. They are just very exaggerated for entertainment purposes. All of these issues work together to create a very negative stereotype for mental illness that creates obstacles for seeking treatment. Resistance to seeking treatment for mental illness, a brain blogger, actually stated that stigma is the most important barrier to treatment. These stigmas lead to low self-esteem, hiding their mental illness. There's a paranoia of doctors actually looking down on them. They're afraid of losing the respect of their family or friends, and a lot of people are actually afraid of losing their jobs if they come out about their mental illness. Another topic that is not very widely discussed in the media is men and mental illness. The Columbia Dispatch published an article titled "The Silent Struggle." It explains how masculinity often leads to men not coming out about their mental illness because they are believed to be very masculine. They are afraid to come out with their mental illness. Suicide is also more common in men, and that results from men not seeking treatment for their mental illness. There's a lack of coverage in the media about men having mental illness. There are no men actually publicly speaking about it. The National Alliance on Mental Health states that approximately 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness in a given year. Only 41% of these adults with mental illness receive mental health services in the past year. Among adults with a serious mental issue, 62.9% of them received mental health services in the past year. What can be done to help these stigmas? Teen Mom actually has a really great example of this. One of the people on the show, her name is Caitlin. She has actually been very public with her. She has actually been very public with her struggles with mental illness. It displays her road of coping with it, her seeking treatment, and how she has dealt with any bumps in the road. Advertising of mental illness can be more realistic. It can be shown in TV and movies more realistically instead of using it for entertainment or comedy purposes. There can be more positive stories of how people overcome their mental illness also. So as far as mental illness goes, there are many negative portrayals in the media about mental illness. What can be done is that we can make this more positive by showing more people coming out and more people seeking treatment. We need to make this a more positive stigmatism.